Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Motherhood is both amazing and difficult at the same time. The Passport Mommy, Michelle Jerson, is here to share in your journey.
It's amazing. It really is, just watching them grow and see how much change and how much they learn just without the filters around them.
Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome to the show. So if it is as cold where you are as it is near me, we are all thinking about where can we go now? I know I am itching to get away. I am itching to already get away somewhere tropical. And really, it's only dropped into the 40s and 30s, maybe in the last week, and I'm ready to go. So today I have with me Natalie Skokin. She is a new mom. She is also part of the sales, marketing, and brand team at Vivo Resorts in Mexico. Hi, Natalie. Thanks for joining me today.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks so much for having me on the call.
Sure. So we're all thinking about getting away. You are currently down in Mexico right now. How's the weather down there?
Yeah, there's not a cloud in the sky here, Michelle, and I'm just watching waves hit the beach, so it's not too bad.
I can picture it now. You're sitting on a lounge chair talking to me, and I'm here, and I'm literally still in my winter coat because I rushed to get to the studio from outside. So tell me.
Yeah, we got on the plane with toques and jackets and got off the plane and shedded those quite quickly. So.
Very nice. So tell me a little bit about the region of Mexico you are in right now.
So I am in Puerto Escondido, which is in the state of Oaxaca, and it's on the southwest coast of Mexico.
Great. And it's beautiful over there. I've only been to Cabo on the West Coast, but I love the Pacific part of Mexico. Tell me a little bit about what comprises the area.
About what, pardon?
What comprises the area? What are some traits of the area where you are?
Yeah, it's beautiful down in Puerto Escondido. Similar to yourself, I had traveled to Cabo. I've been to Vallarta and Cancun. And those are all such lovely places that I was hesitant to extend my travel in Mexico to other locations. But Puerto's down on the southwestern coast, and it's a bit of an undiscovered gem still, if you will. So you get a lot of authentic Mexico, but then you've also got the mix of the bonuses that come with Mexico, the beach and all the comforts and things like that. So it's a really, really beautiful area. The Vivo Resorts, where I'm at, is surrounded by farmland. So there's no tall buildings around. There's no obstruction in my view. Out the back of my room, I've got beautiful mountain range, and then out the front, I've got the beach. So it's really quite an amazing place.
That sounds wonderful. And I love that it isn't your typical touristy parts of Mexico, because while all of Mexico can be really nice, to get out and off the beaten path a little bit and to not be surrounded by the buildings, I think that's what really enhances your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have to go into town, into the market if I want to buy trinkets. There's nobody coming to me at the beach here asking if they can braid my hair or paint my toenails or sell me things. I physically have to seek those things out. So it's really refreshing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You just brought back memories. I forgot about all that. It's like just when you want to relax on the beach. I mean, it's kind of nice sometimes, like the first once or twice somebody comes around and asks about braiding your hair. And then after that, it's like, leave me alone. I just want to relax.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to read my book here.
Exactly. So tell me a little bit about Vivo Resorts.
Yeah, Vivo Resorts. So it's a Canadian company. It started by Kerry Mullen, who is an Olympian out of Calgary, Alberta. And he just kind of had this vision where he could go with his family, with his parents and with his kids, and have a home away from home, if you will. So he's created Vivo Resorts, and it's just the most magical place. Truly, it is. Like I said, the geographical location helps, but the resort itself is so beautiful. It's so well built, and all the staff and stuff are just so friendly because it's kind of a unique place. if you will. There's owners that are here that have bought condos. There's villas. People own villas, or they buy land in the area and they build their own villa. So it's got kind of a family kind of community feel to it. It's not a hotel, if you will. It's a nice community here at Vivo.
Great. So if somebody did want to come and visit that part of Mexico and stay at Vivo Resorts, can they, even if they're not an owner of the property? Do some of the owners rent out their homes?
Oh, yes, absolutely they do, for sure. And you can look at that stuff on our website, or you can call directly to our reservations office. And we've got anywhere from studios all the way up to 4 bedrooms. And then, like I said, there's even villas on the property. So I know that some people come down with big family or couple families, and they go in and stay in a villa or in one of our beautiful 4 bedrooms, and with a big palapa and an entertaining area. It's just gorgeous. And it's a nice feeling, too, because especially, I mean, like you said, I'm a new mom, so I find it really nice to have a kitchen and have kind of the comforts of home.
Yes.
So you get that. You're not just in a hotel room with 2 beds next to each other. You move into somebody's home, and so it's really a really comforting feeling.
Absolutely. And I said after I had my first child, I said, I will never travel to just a standard hotel room again. It really is luxurious and necessary, I should say, to have more of an apartment, especially if you're there for a little while, for more than a few days.
Absolutely. I know the first trip I did with my son, and we were in a hotel room. My husband and I wanted to have a bottle of wine. We didn't have a patio, and we're just in a hotel in the city. And we went and we hung out in the bathroom because the lights had to be turned off, or my son woke up. So here we are on this vacation. We were only there for a couple nights, but we're sharing a bottle of wine in the bathroom, playing cards, just like, what have we done with our lives?
Yep, that's hilarious. Well, I have to tell you that I just recently moved out of New York City, and I and my husband and up until she was 2, lived in an alcove studio, and same thing. Anytime we wanted to have a conversation or do anything, we were in the bathroom.
Isn't that funny? Who knew the bathroom could be such a versatile room, you know?
Exactly. It's hilarious. And I can't believe now that I've done that. But when we used to travel, we used to say, wow, I wish we could move into this space. It's a lot bigger than ours.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what else is in the surrounding areas. There is a lagoon only 10 minutes away from Vivo Resorts.
Yes, there is. There's a freshwater lagoon, which is amazing, and you can go on a boat tour and see all of the birds, and it's so beautiful. And what's happening actually right now is the time of the year for bioluminescence. So you can go on these tours at night, and you go into the water, and the water literally glows around you. It's so magical. There's a bunch of tours. There's a bunch of whales and dolphins in the area as well. So we have a big conch at the pool here at Vivo, and whenever somebody spots a whale or a dolphin, someone blows the conch, and everyone comes out and watches them swim past, which I know it sounds crazy, pretty much happens daily right now because the migration is happening, so it's so exciting. You start to be like, oh, the whales are here again, which is such a hilarious sentence to say. There's lots of surf stuff in the area, so Zicatela Beach is actually a really professional surfing area. Big surf competitions happen there, but there's also little coves around the area here where you can learn how to surf. So I did a surf lesson. I didn't try my moves at Zicatela Beach. I only stuck to the lesson in the little safe cove where I was surfing on the whitewash, but that's super fun, and you see a bunch of kids out there trying their hand at that, and you know, there's all the other things like zip lines and just stuff like that in the area for families to get involved with.
So much fun. And I love that you can go out and take surfing lessons and that the water is not too rough. And it's good for both kids and adults who have never been on a surfboard before.
Yeah, exactly. At Vivo as well, we also have a kids zone here, which I should say is conveniently located next to the spa. So I don't know if you get what I'm putting down there, but the kids zone's there and the spa's right there. So that's a nice thing for me to do and moms to do.
Absolutely. So we have about 2 minutes left. Tell me a little bit more about the kids zone. What does it offer? What are the hours?
Yeah, absolutely. They're pretty flexible with the hours, but I believe it's 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. And it's the cutest little area. It's all, one room is all padded. So you could, like, it's, my son's crawling, he's just learning to walk, so it's a great area to take him for fear of him falling over. There's tons of toys in there. There's air conditioning. There's also a room on the side that have a couple beds and a couple cribs for nap time. And then there's a play area outside. So there's some balls, there's a slide, there's a little playground. And so, yeah, it's a versatile area. You can stay inside or you can go outside, and there's a couple really wonderful girls that work there, and they're just so friendly, and they're bilingual. So I've been telling them to only speak Spanish to my son because I hope he can start to develop his Spanish early, but they also speak English, which is definitely comforting as a mom to have somebody who can speak English when you're communicating with them.
Absolutely. And comforting to know that there is a place for the kids to go so that mom and dad can enjoy some hours, some downtime. I mean, that is so important when traveling. And it's not often that we find places that do have such wonderful kids resorts. We are speaking with Natalie with Vivo Resorts. She is in sales and marketing. Natalie, I want to talk to you in the next segment just about how you've been balancing motherhood with your career, with traveling with your little one. So hang on. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. More coming up in a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back to the show. We are speaking with Natalie Skokin. She is a new mom. She's also in sales marketing and the brand team for Vivo Resorts. And we're talking travel because I don't know about you, but I am ready to get out of this cold already. It's probably only been cold for a few weeks now, but I am so done with winter and looking for my tropical destinations on where to go. And so we are talking with Natalie because she works with Vivo Resorts in a beautiful part of Mexico. And Natalie, you were just telling me that Vivo Resorts has a kids zone, which is so great when you're traveling with your kids. What has your experience been with traveling with your little one? How old is he now?
Yeah, my little one, his name is Atlas, and he is 10 months old. And this is probably the first big trip we've done with him. We've done smaller trips to cities and stuff like that, but this is our first big travel, was bringing him down to Mexico.
I love the name Atlas. Where did that come from?
You know what? We can't even remember. I think my husband and I just kind of thought of it, throwing names around, and it was when I was just about to pop, so it came in late in the name game, and it stuck. Yeah, we decided to go with it.
Nice. I love it. There's so many original, cool names nowadays. It's funny, when we were thinking about names for my kids, you know, of course, my mom had her 2 cents. Oh, who names it? And then I got to see the names of everybody in her class, and I was like, you see, we weren't so off by naming it. We named our daughter Eden, which it turns out there's lots of Edens out there we weren't aware of. But
yeah, well, we're my husband and I are big travelers, and we love the Book of Maps. Atlas is a book of maps, and I was saying with Google Maps, no one's going to have physical maps anymore. So the name Atlas is kind of neat, and it'll be cool when he's older to explain it and stuff like that. We always make the joke though that hopefully he's not geographically challenged when he's older, because that would be really awkward. Atlas is lost again.
Exactly. So what are some tips that you have for moms who are traveling? Maybe they're new moms and they're just traveling with their little ones, because I see posts all the time, you know, asking so many questions logistically and just the best things to do to stay sane on a first trip.
One thing that's really important, I think, is to call the place that you're staying at in advance and see what they have as far as resources for you, because I mean, even when we're leaving the house for 2 hours, I've got so much stuff. So packing for a trip can become quite overwhelming. The nice thing here staying at Vivo is they had a crib for us. They've got a high chair for us. They've got the kids zone, so we can go and take some toys and bring them up and we can play with them. And so there was a lot of stuff that was already covered that we didn't even have to think about. So I would definitely suggest moms call in advance and figure out what amenities are going to be down there for you so that you don't have to pack it all with you.
And I love resorts that do that because it saves you so much of the hassle. So what airport is near Vivo Resorts? Where would people fly into?
You can fly directly into Puerto Escondido through a connecting flight in Mexico City, and that airport's 15 minutes from the resort. And the alternative option is there's direct international flights into Huatulco. And of course, we have a shuttle that would pick you up in Huatulco, a nice air-conditioned Mercedes shuttle that picks you up, and that's about 2 hours away from the resort.
So either option sounds like a wonderful one. And how many days would you recommend somebody book Vivo Resorts for? How long should somebody stay to really enjoy?
Oh, I mean, you could just do a lifetime change and move down here, but I'd say definitely try and give yourself 2 weeks, but that's always just a personal thing. I always like to travel for more than a week myself, but it's whatever. You can come for a week, but I would probably recommend doing 2. If not longer.
I am with you. I wish we had more of a mindset to travel for long periods of time, because I feel like Americans, they get their few days vacation. They're like, oh, I can't use it all up at once. And you know what? Sometimes that's nice, because once you get there, you want to settle in a little bit. It takes you a while, especially if you have little kids.
Especially if you've got kids. That's right. They settle into things. One of the greatest things about Vivo actually is the water out of your tap is already filtered. And so in traveling to Mexico before, I mean, we've all had the Mexico tummy stuff. And so I went into town and bought a little bathtub thing for Atlas. And so he takes baths. And I just take the water out of the tap. And it's so nice to know that when he's chewing on his bath toys and stuff, that water has already been filtered. So that's also a really big piece for moms that are traveling with young children and really anybody. But I find a lot of solace in that, because the tummy stuff can be difficult.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that, because I haven't been to Mexico in a few years and I would love to go back. And that's what I was thinking. I thought, then it's the extra hassle of worrying about your kids and what they're drinking and what they're eating. So it's really nice to know that that is not a worry.
No, it's fantastic. Yeah, like I pour myself a glass of cold water from my fridge with ice cubes, and I'm drinking it right now, so you don't have to be juggling all these bottles of water. Plus, it's so refreshing from an environmental standpoint, because anywhere I've been in Mexico, I'm drinking all of this bottled water, and the waste just gets to me. So that's a really neat thing about Vivo.
Tell everybody again where they can go to see more about Vivo Resorts and everything it has to offer and the area.
Yeah, you can hop onto our website on Vivo Resorts and click and get in touch with somebody, whether it's the reservations department or somebody from the sales marketing team, whoever it is that you'd like to talk to. And then book your flights and get down here. It's really something you need to experience. We've got pickleball courts and tennis courts and surfing and turtle releases every couple of days. Like we release baby turtles every couple of days, and it's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
So there's just so much to do. You got to come and see it for yourself.
All right. Well, you have motivated me. I'm getting online and I'm checking into airfares when we're done with this segment. Natalie Skokun, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, she's with Vivo Resorts. That's Vivo, V-I-V-O Resorts.com in Puerto Escondido, Mexico. If you're looking for a great getaway in Mexico, I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. More coming up in a few.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
And I'm so excited to have on the show with me Adina Grigori. She's the founder and CEO of the 100% natural, get this, 5 ingredients or less skincare line, SW Basics, which she started out of her kitchen in 2008. She is the author of 2 best-selling holistic skincare books, Skin Cleanse and Just the Essentials, and has been credited for taking natural beauty mainstream. She's a graduate of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and she's worked in the wellness industry since 2007 as a nutritionist, a personal trainer, and a workshop coordinator teaching people about the DIY nature of wellness. Thank you so much, Adina, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be doing this.
I am just thrilled to have you because I met you at my sister-in-law's, bachelorette party back in the day. And I heard about this amazing business that you were starting. And it's just been incredible to see how successful you've been. You've been featured in Vogue, O Magazine, W Magazine, the New York Times, and now you are distributed internationally.
Yes, so much has happened.
It's incredible. So for anybody who You're welcome. I want to hear just what your journey was like, because again, from just starting in your kitchen to now being sold internationally, tell us briefly, take us through the story of how this all happens.
I started it. I have super sensitive skin, and I had was always very interested in holistic health and nutrition, was working as a personal trainer, and I really liked wellness and the idea of wellness. I found it to be very empowering. I had healed myself of a million different chronic ailments by taking care of myself in a holistic way. And I really wanted to make wellness more accessible to people. So I started by teaching workshops, and I would teach sort of principles of personal training and nutrition, and skincare, because it was something I was doing for myself. And I found it super simple, and I was making everything in a very, very basic way, 5 ingredients or less in my kitchen. And I was just shocked at how easy it was and what a difference it made for my skin. And so I started doing these workshops, just teaching people how to do it themselves, and those took off. And then from there, I realized, people have such a hard time even just cooking for themselves these days and making time for their wellness routine, that they're not necessarily going to also get in the kitchen and cook up a lotion or a lip balm. So I started selling them. And still doing, and that's what the book's about. I still teach people the recipes, but the idea is if you can't make them yourself, you can still access them on shelf. And so I started making them, selling them to clients, and then started doing markets in Brooklyn, and then kind of went from there, went door to door to get stores little by little. And just kind of grew it without really knowing what I was doing, but just really feeling like it was an important brand that needed to exist for people, just something that was super simple, very transparent, and 100% natural, and, so accessible that that you could do it yourself.
Exactly. And I have to say that I have been guilty of not moisturizing and not really doing an everyday skincare routine for most of my life, just because I didn't know what was in a lot of these products. I can't pronounce half the ingredients, and I was worried about what was going into my body. And even when I just say take coconut oil, like they say is so good for you, and just put that on alone, I'm like, well, that's too oily, and then it gets over everything. And I love your combinations of ingredients, because they're really good creams and serums, and like you said, 5 ingredients or less. And it's all stuff that I know, whether there is a mixture of coconut oil in there, but there's also shea butter and cocoa butter. They smell great and they feel great, and they are super, super moisturizing.
Thank you. Yeah. I think that's a big thing for people. I realized the opportunity for us was kind of to become a gateway for people, because I do think sometimes, and that's even what happened for me, I was having reactions to everything I was using. I've had itchy, rashy skin my whole life. And at one point I had switched to what I thought was all natural skincare. And I just was like, what's happening? I'm still having these crazy reactions. I don't feel better, or I'm not enjoying using the products. And that's when I realized either you're dealing with greenwashing, which is just, stuff that you're talking about, where you look at the ingredient label and still have no idea what's happening because it's not actually natural, or It's so far natural that it takes a lot of work, or it's not easy to use. And we're just I want to get people somewhere in the middle so that they can feel like they can go and explore and kind of try new things and play around, but not feel like they absolutely have to be, you don't have to be a natural product junkie to use natural products.
Right, exactly. And you mentioned making the products in your own kitchen, and you teach that in your book. So it's not overwhelming to make your own skincare product?
Well, it's definitely not overwhelming to make our skincare products, since they're 5 ingredients or less. So, because here's a good way to think about it. I did not have a background in skincare. I had a background in nutrition. So all of our products, it's more like you're cooking than it is like you're doing chemistry. Obviously, there's chemistry involved, so it's good to that's why it requires books, right? You have to learn a little bit about how the ingredients play together and what's the best case for using them. But you don't have to do anything really intense unless you are interested in making something really intense. But everything that I teach people how to make is something really, really simple. And it's ingredients like you're saying, where it's like, look, coconut oil is good for you, but it can be a little bit intense. Here's how to cut it with a couple other ingredients so that you can actually use it.
I love it.
Not everyone has time even for that. So it's not necessary, but it's more about understanding what's going on your skin, just like people should with their food, you know?
Right. Exactly. And I feel like people think that they need to use these products that have all these different chemicals to prevent wrinkles, and that they say they do all this stuff and enhance collagen. But when it comes down to it, is it really just the moisturizer and keeping your skin full of moisture?
Obviously, the answer that everyone hates, which is that it's pretty complicated, right? Like, it's simple in the sense that, yes, like you don't need to do that much as far as your skincare routine goes. Like at some point, all of the different products are not helping you. The thing that makes it complicated is there's a number of other factors: your lifestyle, your genetics, how much you're hydrating internally, right? How much water you're drinking is significantly more important than what you're doing in your skincare routine. I would say that, yes, moisture is the most important external factor, and everything else, a lot of what I say in Skin Cleanse is like, the best thing to do, honestly, is to take a break from everything and then ease back into everything, particularly into moisturizing. Like, that's the thing that people kind of need to go back to, but they're usually not, like, they're usually just bombarding their skin. But it matters where you live. It matters just like so many things about how you're eating, so many things about your lifestyle affect you externally as well as internally. So it's a bunch of little things, but I would say what you're putting on your skin is just such a small fraction of what's actually making your skin look good. And in general, we're doing so much that it's making it worse.
Right, exactly. Now, I don't know if you can hear my little guy in the background here.
Yes,
but
I love it.
Yeah, so he is 5 months, and I was so excited to see that you just launched a line for babies as well, because that's another thing. I want to keep him moisturized, but I certainly don't want to use any chemicals that I don't need to on his skin. So tell me about the diaper cream and the baby butter that you launched.
Essentially what I wanted to do is take our main line and then dial it towards the baby a little bit. So the thing is our main line, everything we use is safe enough for a baby, safe enough if you're pregnant. Like, everything is so formulated to be so gentle and for such sensitive skin that you could use anything in the line. The diaper cream is what I started with, and I was really excited to do it because I found it very aggravating, and I find it very aggravating that so many diaper creams on the market have zinc oxide in them. I mean, it's like this is, I think, what most moms think of when they think of diaper cream is zinc oxide. And the thing about zinc oxide, which is the same thing that's in your sunscreen, is it does provide a moisture barrier, but it provides a barrier, which means your baby's skin is literally not breathing. Your skin is not breathing when you have sunscreen on. That's the same thing happening with diaper cream. And that's not good because the skin, that's such a sensitive area for a baby, and you're not giving it the opportunity to actually like breathe and heal itself. So I used a base of cocoa butter and then added bentonite clay. So it's actually going to dry up baby's booty, but not in a way where it's like sitting there and not soaking in. You always want the product that you're putting on your baby to actually soak in all the way. And like I said, to be safe enough where like it could literally go in their mouth. And that's the same with the baby butter. It's very similar to our original cream. I swapped out olive oil for sunflower oil because sunflower oil is a little bit nicer and gentler for really, really young skin because as a baby's skin barrier is not entirely there. They're building it over time. And sunflower is a little bit lighter for that. And with a touch of chamomile oil, which is a safe essential oil for baby and then has calming aromatherapy properties. So, but both 5 ingredient, one's 5 ingredients, one's 4, very, very simple, something you could make yourself, but safe enough for baby to be having it on their skin all the time. And it's just shocking to me. We get shocked when we look at the beauty shelf and we're like, oh my God, what are those ingredients? It's even more shocking when that's happening in the baby aisle.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's interesting because you did teach me something. I had no idea that the zinc oxide was not good for baby because literally I've seen tons of butt creams and they all have zinc oxide in them. So it's really nice to see, like you said, that there is something, it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, you mentioned.
We're just used to certain things. Yes. Go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
Exactly. No, we are used to certain things. And I think to be able to get a skincare line that, like you said, can be eaten and be okay, because we know that babies are going to put their fingers in their mouth or anything else in their mouth. So if you're putting moisturizer on their body, you want to feel safe that, hey, if it gets in their mouth, it's okay. And, I have to say that I used the baby butter the other day. When I was nursing, I had a little bit of chapped, breast going on, and I put it on my boobs, and I was like, well, you know what? I think it'll be okay if they nurse and this is on it.
Yes, right. And isn't that so comforting?
Yes, 100%.
It just should always be like that.
Exactly. Exactly. So no, I mean, it should be, we shouldn't have to worry, oh my gosh, is this safe? Is it not safe? So I'm very intrigued. You went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and right now I think it's an online program now, right?
Yes, it's switched over.
Okay. So tell me because I've seen so many impressive people come out of that program that I guess it just allows you to take what you learn and take it in any direction if you have the motivation.
Absolutely. And that's exactly how I describe it. I think you can go into that school and come out a traditional holistic health coach. And I think that now that's necessary now more than ever. And that's definitely the track that they kind of put you on if you go into the school. But I knew when I got there that I didn't want to do something super traditional. I knew that I had other modalities that I understood and wanted to study still. And so I just took in all of the information and spent that entire time trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to apply this and what can I do with it? And yeah, like you said, tons of people have come out and launched food companies. But you just have to it's taken me, I graduated in 2007, and, I feel like the company has taken me over 10 years to really build and remain completely, fully dedicated to. So motivation is exactly the right word for what you need to have, no matter what kind of program you go into. But it's just amazing because you just learn all sorts of different nutritional theories, and you hear from all of the leaders in the nutrition industry, and it just makes you really motivated and inspired to go, spread the word and get people feeling better.
Exactly. And so we have about a minute left. So I want to have you on for one more segment because I saw on your website that you also recommend so many other nutritionists and people's books. And like you were saying, beauty is holistic inside and out. So I want to talk to you more about that, but tell everybody where they can go to order your products online, and then also what stores they're carried in.
Yes. So the website is swbasics.com, and we're carried in Target nationwide. We have a few products. Our aromatherapy hydrosols are also in Whole Foods nationwide. Those are probably the best places. We're on Amazon. I know that that's probably the easiest way for people to shop these days, and you can do Prime. But yeah, the most information you can find is on SW Basics, and then on our Instagram, which is also at SW Basics.
Great. And I do notice that you hold some sales on your website sometimes. So that's great too. And I'm always excited when I'm walking down the aisle in Target and I see your product, because there really is nothing else like it around it or in any of the aisles that I could find in these stores. We're talking with Adina Grigori. She is the founder of SW Basics, 5 ingredients or less when it comes to your skincare. And as a busy mom, you need something basic, you need something healthy. More coming up in just a few.
Motherhood is a journey. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
And I'm here with Adina Grigori. She is the founder of SW Basics. It is a great skincare line. I have to tell you, and I don't want to sound salesy because that's not really what I'm trying to do, but I love this product. I really do. It is the only skincare product that I use because I know the ingredients that are in it. And it's so easy to just know what you're putting on your skin, and it's so full of moisture. And now I'm excited. I knew, Adina, that you had written a couple of books, but I have not read them yet. And I'm excited to read them because maybe I will attempt to make some of this on my own. I'm sure it won't come up nearly as good as yours, but it's exciting to know that it is something that can be done at home.
Absolutely. You could have a recipe day with the baby. I mean, it's really interesting because what I tried to do in the book, first of all, everything's super simple. I didn't do anything where you need to go get like fancy equipment or really exotic ingredients. The idea is it's ingredients that are either already in your kitchen cabinet or at the grocery store, and sometimes you're literally just stirring them together. So simple masks and stuff you can use in the bath and face wash and toners, but all just like very quick and easy so that you don't get overwhelmed. So do it. I believe in you.
Thanks. So tell me, because I was mentioning before that you do run sales on your website. You're also in Target, some products in Whole Foods, and on Amazon. But Black Friday is coming up. Are you running any deals for Black Friday?
Yes. So Black Friday is like our favorite time of year because we get to kind of take all of our inventory and make fresh batches at the end of the year. So we clear everything out. So the site goes on super deep discount if you want to try everything. And then we're doing a special promotion this year, actually, where we're partnering up with a handful of other brands. And if you spend a certain amount, I think it'll be $50 on any of the sites, you'll get a $10 gift card to all the others, which means you'll basically be shopping for free. Because I just want people, like I said, to get into naturals and kind of like dip their toe in it without feeling like they have to spend too much money, and just kind of get them out there into it. So I'm super excited to be as helpful as possible for that journey for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is so helpful. And on your website, you have different people that you recommend their books and their products when it comes to all facets of health. So who are some other people that you like to team up with?
I always get asked about makeup. One of my favorite brands is Well People, which is available also in Whole Foods. And they actually have their own flagship stores for anyone that's ever visiting Austin. They're amazing. We're going to partner with this company called Seaweed Bath Co. that makes great hair care. I'm still a huge fan of Dr. Bronner's. They're like the OGs that have been around forever. If you're looking for really super simple Castile soap, especially for baby, it's really great. And then I've gotten into this new amazing toothpaste called Frau Fowler, and all these will be on the site when we're around Black Friday, so in the next couple of weeks. And it's a really, really simple essential oil-based toothpaste. But, these days there's just so much stuff out there. You don't even need to do that much work. It's just kind of about walking the aisles and, stalking people online and getting to know their ingredients. And the thing that I say to people is just, if you feel like you're not getting enough information, you do not need to stay with that brand. There's so much out there at this point that you don't, there's even full stores. There's like Full Lane that's online and has stores nationally, and it's all green beauty. Like, there's green beauty sections at the drugstore. Like, everywhere you go, if you pick something up or if you see something online and you're like, I don't know if this is right for me, move on, because you're going to be able to find something more transparent.
I love there's this event every year I go to, the Organic Spa event, and I love seeing these beauty products there because for makeup, you don't have to have all of these crazy chemicals in it either. And that's going on your skin every day. So I think it's so important to be educated and to just learn what products are out there when it comes to makeup and anything else that you're putting on your body.
Totally. Absolutely. 100%. And getting easier every day. It used to be like, I don't even know where to start, but now there's just resources and access everywhere. So no reason to not at least try.
So tell me again the names of your books and where people can go to get your products, to read up more, to learn if they're just interested in being more natural with their skincare regimen, and also providing natural products for their babies that they don't have to worry about knowing what's actually going on their skin.
Definitely. So the first book is called Skin Cleanse, and that's kind of just an overall wellness program for your skin where you go on a little bit of a break from your products and we really look at your entire lifestyle to try to figure out what's going on with your skin. And then the second book is just the essentials, and it's a very basic 101 guide to essential oils, but where I did a lot of research to kind of myth bust things that you might Google and find online and not really know what's true or what's not true. So it's very science-based, but very, very accessible for learning about essential oils and how to incorporate them into your life. And both of those are on Amazon and on our website and on Target with the rest of the line. And we're very easy to find, and we love talking to people about this stuff. So I really encourage people to reach out and talk to us.
Adina Grigori, thank you so much for joining me today. It was so much fun speaking with you. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.